Let's continue to take our communication to new heights. How are you going to equip your aircraft and notify ATC that you're prepared to use Data Comm? First, let's focus on being properly equipped. To ensure that your aircraft is authorized for FAA Data Comm, you'll need to visit the FAA's en route participation list. If your aircraft is listed on the participation list, you'll need to have the required hardware, software, and service in your aircraft. The hardware will be the data link receiver known as the GDR66 and your GTN 725 or 750 XI. Now let's take a look inside. The software must be software version 21.02 or later, with the Data Comm feature enabled. The hardware and software installations must be completed by an authorized Garmin dealer. Once you verify your aircraft is on the participation list and you have the required software and hardware, you'll need to sign up on Garmin.com for the Data Comm service. Visit Garmin.com/Datacom to begin the registration process. Scroll down on the Garmin website and click Register. On the FAA Data Comm registration page, enter your personal information. For avionics type, select GTN 725 XI or GTN 750 XI. Fill out the form completely. The information that you submit in this registration process will be used to file your future flight plans. When filling out the aircraft-specific information, these details must match exactly from your aircraft and, hint hint, when you file your flight plan. Your aircraft registration number will be your reg tag on your flight plan. Enter your aircraft serial number and your ICAO address. This is essentially taking your aircraft tail number and turning it into a hexadecimal format. This is going to show up as your code tag in your flight plan. If you have pre-departure clearance, select Yes. That will help when filing a flight plan, which we'll cover in a moment. Select country of aircraft registration, then your ICAO type designator. Remember, your aircraft must be on the participation list to receive services. For aircraft STC, select the GTN 750 XI STC. Garmin will then complete the required filing of your tail-specific form. This process could take up to a week. Once the registration process is complete and approved, Garmin will send you a confirmation email. Now that your aircraft is properly equipped with the necessary hardware, software, and service, let's move on to preparing to operate FAA Data Comm. Preparing in this case means filing an accurate flight plan. There are a few different ways to file a flight plan. In this video, we'll cover both paper forms and filing a flight plan with Garmin Pilot. One of the most common errors when using Data Comm is entering information into the flight plan incorrectly. So it's important to ensure you're inputting the correct information into your flight plan. First, we'll go over how to fill out the paper version of a flight plan. Remember, the aircraft-specific information you entered during the registration process on Garmin.com must match the information entered into your flight plan. Information that's incorrect will result in a failed logon. In Field 7, enter your approved flight ID, meaning that if your flight is operating under a flight number, enter it here. Otherwise, enter your aircraft tail number. Field 10 is where you'll enter equipage codes. For U.S. domestic en route services, you'll enter J4 as your J code, which is required for en route use. J4 is the data link code that tells your system that you can use FAA Data Comm. You'll also enter Z, which alerts the system that there is additional equipment that will be specified in Field 18, which is the Other Information box. In Field 18, you'll enter your reg, code, and DAT codes. Enter the tail number into the reg field. Remember to input the registration number that was entered when you registered the aircraft. The DAT field tells the ATC your preference for receiving your IFR clearance. If it's blank, you'll only receive your clearance over voice communications. To notify ATC that you want to receive your clearance using Data Comm, at select airports, enter 1FANS-E. If you also have a PDC service, then enter 1FANS-E to PDC. That means that your first preference, if available, would be over Data Comm. Your second preference would be via a PDC, and if neither are available or functioning, then voice communications will be used. For the code box, enter your ICAO address. Next, let's look at how we can file a flight plan for FAA Data Comm using Garmin Pilot. Since this video is about filing a flight plan for FAA Data Comm, we'll focus on those selections only relevant for FAA Data Comm. Under the aircraft settings, navigate to Equipment. Select ICAO Comm Nav, and under CPDLC, select J4. Scroll down until you find the Other section and select Z, Other Equipment. Under ICAO Other Information, you'll need to enter your DAT, reg, and code. Remember, reg is your tail number, and DAT is 1FANS-E or 1FANS-E to PDC. and code is your ICAO address. The reg and code must be the same as those on your aircraft registration. The code you input into the DAT box on Garmin Pilot will be the same as you would enter if you were using a paper flight plan. Now you know what you need to be both equipped and prepared to fly with FAA Data Comm. Next up, we'll take this show on the road by learning how to log on to your system.